Welcome, friends. Welcome. Happy Easter. It's Easter Sunday here in Australia. I know it's still Saturday for you wonderful Americans. We're on to painting Gemini for my project, so yeah, so it should be fun. I'll show off the Aquarius model that, unsurprisingly, I've started to enjoy after painting it. So often seems to be the case that models that I dislike, when I actually get started on painting them, they're really quite fun. Yeah, it was just really great to paint. Still a few little areas I need to tweak, but yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It's one down. One of the hard ones. This is the other one I thought was going to be hard. So, get started on this bad boy. Cause yeah, might be all that you get. Lot of metal on this champion. It should be a fun and relaxing stream, hopefully. I might need to figure out the direction. Light. It was a pretty successful week on the G'day Calabayroon. Pretty successful week on the project so far. We finished the water and now we're on to the third of the 4 series. And so far this one is the one that I was dreading. It's actually the one that's gone together the easiest. I had a really simple idea for the design and it worked out perfectly well. So it's a bit annoying really that it would just be so straightforward. Yeah, so if it's your first time here, what you're looking at is just a couple of projects that I've been working on. This particular one is a diorama series based on zodiac signs. These models were released by Scale 75 as a Kickstarter, I think 2 years ago. It's been sitting there waiting for the right time. recently decided that that time was now. The diorama projects tend to... G'day, Sneakerscope. These diorama projects tend to take a little bit of time to percolate, and if you've never seen one before, this is an example of one of the ones I've done. Camelot diorama based on the Tales of King Arthur, so there's a whole pile of little vignettes in there that have stories from mythology of King Arthur. It's on a round table, which is cool. That's the type of thing I do. Thank you, yes, pretty pleased with how that one came out. I did, yeah, painted it, built it, did everything. The only thing I didn't do was sculpt the models. The models were from a company called Big Child Creatives. But I did everything else. Thank you. Certainly felt very impressive at the time. It was hard work getting to the end. Wasn't sure I was going to finish, but I did. So each of these little zodiac signs, the dioramas, I'm working on, a rough sort of color palette. Have I done any other projects? I have, yeah. I've done quite a few dioramas. That was the first sort of major big diorama I attempted, but if you go back through my Instagram, you'll see I've done lots of projects like that. Now, so the color palette for this one is this purple color. So we want to have feelings of purple tones in everything, but we also want it to be sort of blue and green, as the air diorama connects to this one, which is water. So, this side connects to earth, so there's a lot of green tones coming here, and warm red oranges, like in the crab. And on this side, we connect to the air, and that's purples and blues. So the palette for this is all purples and blues. Hence why you can see I went with a purple base coat. My star sign is Pisces. Pisces was the big water serpent on the last one. It's not my favourite one. My favourite model, but it was okay. Leo, yeah, Leo's really good actually. I've got it right here because it's the last one I've got to do, the fire one. That's the Leo figure there. It's really awesome. I'm looking forward to painting that. All of the fire signs are actually my favourite figures in the series. Well, actually, that's two of my favourite figures. The Earth ones were probably also really good. Specifically Capricorn. Powerful, yes. Well, I don't think I definitely haven't started Leo yet. So maybe that was someone else. I'm pretty fast. So most of the time I'll be between 4 to 6 hours for a figure. But it does depend on a lot of factors, you know, how detailed the model is, that type of thing. So this one is very, very detailed, so this one may actually take me a little more time. We will see. I'm not sure yet. Well, yeah, after a bit of practice, you don't tend to mess up that often. So it's a lot easier. Just the old practice, practice, practice. Yeah, I've been painting models for quite a while now. Somewhere in the vicinity of 25 years. But this type of painting is a specific type of painting called display painting, and I've only been doing this for about 5 years. I have other hobbies. Yeah, I play a lot of board games with my friends on a weekly basis, and then play some sports. But this one's probably the one I'm most passionate about. That's a tricky question. We play so many games. Um, I completed Gloomhaven with my best mate, um, which was really great. I've recorded a couple of Kingdom Death campaigns on my YouTube channel, so Kingdom Death is definitely up there. But yeah, if you look through sort of what my most played games are, I've played a lot of Marvel Champions, I've played a lot of Mage Knight, both sort of solo games. So it'd probably be one of those two, I would think. Would be my favourite. It is exactly the same as my Instagram handle, Big Deno Paints. And yeah, if you go to the playlist, you'll see my Kingdom Death campaigns. We're only a few short months away from the Gambler's Chest, hopefully, arriving. For those people who've been waiting patiently for many, many years, I applaud you. I only bought into Kingdom Death in 2020, so I've only been waiting 2 years, 3 years. Yeah, and Black Friday in 2020 I bought the Gambler's Chest from the sale. Thank you. At the moment, all I'm doing on there is just uploading these streams, and every so often I put together a video. I haven't put together a video in a while. I'm meaning to though. I'm meaning to do some this year. Welcome back. So this process of non-metallic metal is often about just adding lots of small details and textures to hide the fact that I'm not very good at blending. Am I into singing? Look, I wouldn't say I'm into singing. I'm a very substandard performer, but we thought it would be fun to make it a $5,000 or 5,000 point reward that you could pick a song and make me sing it if I knew the song. It's very funny. If you go back through, I think there's clips of me doing different songs. It's quite amusing. Sometimes I sing okay. Most of the time it's pretty bad. It's not. But if you hang around on stream, there's usually a few people with some points saved up that don't mind dropping them on occasion. It's absolutely a massive letdown. So if you've not painted before, what I'm doing now is just establishing all of the values of the metal. So the term value means areas of light and dark. So where I'm placing these colours is the areas of highlights, which will further refine as we progress. There'll no doubt be other areas that I'll add in addition to these areas or slightly move, but this is an important part of the process. Yeah, absolutely, you can hang out. I'll just be painting away, relaxing, and I'll probably talk if there's anything interesting to talk about. I do have nothing exciting to talk about from a TV show perspective. I didn't start anything this week. Last week I watched Shadow and Bone season 2, which was very cool. But yeah, this week it's just been one episode of Ted Lasso. Which incidentally is a tremendous show that you should watch if you're not already watching. Yeah, the best. Yeah, might be all you get. No, it's a wonderful show. I love it. Yeah, I watched it when the first season came out, and it came out at a time when the world was pretty depressing, and yeah, it just made me feel good. The thing I like most about Ted Lasso is I watch it and it makes me want to be a better person, a better friend, a better manager, a kinder human being. I just think that's just a wonderful example of what the show is about. My favourite character is probably Jamie, just because of the growth of the character. Particularly in the first season, he was one-dimensional. But as the show's progressed, we started to see, I think what the overall message of the show is that, when people aren't given the love, support that they deserve from whoever, can you really blame them for who they become? Jamie's dad's obviously not a positive influence on his son, and if that's his main father figure, his main inspiration for what a man should be, then of course he's going to turn into the person he did. Yeah, I think, and then Roy's also a wonderful example of toxic masculinity portrayed in a way that breaks through that exterior shell, and yeah, it's just a really good and empathetic show that I love. Hey Timbo, got so much time for it. It really, I mean, it's not a hidden gem anymore. Everyone's sort of talking about it now, but back 12-18 months ago, I was just telling everyone, you got to fucking watch this show. You got to watch this show. Get in. Yeah, I'm really loving their dynamic in this season so far. It's really just, yeah, it's one of my favourite things about this season so far is those two. And what I love about this season so far as well is they've started writing Jamie in as like actually a really intelligent dude. Alright, I'm going to toot my own horn here, Nurgle. Welcome, by the way. I'm going to toot my own horn. So, I played rugby league, touch football for the first time in about 7 years. I think it has been 7 years since I played. It's been a long time anyway. On Wednesday night, my dad signed me up for the team. He said, Deno, it's a work team, do you want to play? I said, sure. I think he was secretly trying to do it to help me lose some weight. Whatever his reasons, I was like, yeah, I'll play. I love touch. Played it for years. So, pulled out the boots, haven't been used in years. Had to beat the cobwebs out of them. Pulled out the gear, headed down to the field, met everyone for the first time, and I found out a little bit about the team. So apparently last week they played and they didn't score a try. They got flogged, just absolutely belted, and they've never played before. So I sort of tried to not just take over and like tell them what to do, but just try and hopefully provide some advice and give them a few tips and stuff. Anyway, they had a $50 prize for the person who scored the first try this season. I elected not to score the first try. I could have scored the first try about 3 times. We ended up winning the game 7-5, and I set up 7 tries. So it was a good return. It was the big fella back at his peak. I really like Zava's character so far. I think they're obviously going to turn him into some sort of negative plot point towards the end of the season, where he'll either get injured and they'll have to win without him, or he'll turn into a problem in the team, more of a problem. But I really am enjoying his character arc. Timbo, it was good. It was good to get back out there. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like an absolute prince. Mind you, we're talking about social mixed touch on a Wednesday night. It's not that impressive. Yeah, I just ticked over 40, mate, and it was tough. It was really tough. I woke up. I even got home on that night, and I felt like I'd strained my calf. I thought I'm not going to be able to walk for the next month, and I'd certainly pulled a hammy, and I had a sore lower back. So I was feeling it, but I just done some stretches and gear. But have a go at this. So my boots, because I hadn't used them in years, that all the rubber had hardened, and as I'm playing, chunks of the studs. Thanks, Sneakerscope. Enjoy. Chunks of the stud down the bottom started coming off the sneakers, off the shoes. So I ended up finishing the game with only the front studs and nothing on the back. So I was slipping all over the joint. So I went and bought some new boots yesterday, and they are just absolutely awesome. They're so cool. They're like colourful. But it was good. It was really fun. It was really fun. I'm glad I went along, and yeah, it's got me pumped up to play again this week, and hopefully I'll keep going for a little while yet. I mean, touch is not really a game that you get too many injuries. G'day, Yamaya the Beast. I'm painting a figure from a diorama. This is hopefully what it's going to look like soon, something like this. We'll see. Wait, what? I have, yes. I finished Aquarius yesterday. Going for a sort of purple theme, purple colour. It's not 100% finished, but yeah, pretty much. My hope is that I will finish this guy today, and also get some action on the base today. It's a wonderful public holiday, so I don't have to stress about anything. How many figures do I have, or how many have I got in this diorama? And then tomorrow on Party Monday we'll do the last one in the series, and hopefully finish the air diorama tomorrow night. That's my plan. In this diorama there's 12. There's 12 figures, representing the 12 signs of the zodiac. I think I've got a photo of the 6 that I've finished already. Stand by. He's a maniac on the floor. There you go. So that's earth and water, side by side. So we're over the hump now. We're past the halfway point, because we've done 7 of the figures have been finished. So as we start to continue the journey, it starts to get a bit easier now. It does help that I have an idea for the fire scene that I'm pretty excited about. And that I've gotten over the hump by painting my least favourite models so far. I only have one more model that I'm not enthusiastic about painting left, which is Sagittarius. And even then, it's actually pretty okay. It's not a bad figure. On the road today, I saw a black flag sticker on a Cadillac. A little voice inside my head said, "Don't look back, you can never look back." Thought I knew what love was, what did I know? Those days are gone forever. I should just let them go, but I can see the light still shining in the sun. Get your hair pulled back and your ring bells on, baby. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. Bum, 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 bum. Right, and now we we start to get into it looking a little bit more like metal. Yeah, it was a good week, mate. I mean, the Cowboys lost, which isn't all that good, but yeah, obviously a short week at work. Did some good stuff on the week at work. It's been a hectic couple of months, so good to do some stuff there. Prepared this scene, obviously, in the second part of the week. Watched Ted Lasso on Wednesday. Unfortunately, I've been pretty lazy the rest of the time, mate, because I was so cooked from the from the game. Didn't have a lot of gas left in me. But yeah, big announcement obviously yesterday from the Sydney Display Painters Guild champions. The guild's in new painting competition in Sydney. We talked about it at Crimson, but yeah, been confirmed now and locked in. The rules pack's been announced, so it's really exciting. I'm gonna have to find a piece that I want to enter. Got to make a decision if I want to try compete with these young fellas, or just be happy to throw my things that I do. I was watching Vincent Venturella's latest YouTube video last night, and he basically said, "I'm done. I'm done with entering Golden Demons." And his reason was that he was painting figures for the event, and he wasn't having fun anymore. And he realised that he didn't want to paint models if he wasn't having fun. Hey, Kung Fu. And he said, "I just want to paint models for fun." And I said to myself, "Vincey, I know you've been watching my streams, mate. I know you love Big Dano's approach to painting, and I commend you, because that is the message that I preach pretty much every day, every week. Paint for enjoyment, because it's a hobby and you have to enjoy it. And if you're not, you're in trouble." Some people enjoy the painstaking hours that go into a Golden Demon entry, the repetition over and over. Some people really enjoy that. Not for me as much, but no judgment from me for people that do enjoy that. But yeah, I'm just here to paint models and do cool stuff, and hopefully share a little bit of passion. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to get caught up in it. I'm not sure what it is about the human condition that forces us to want to try and turn everything into a competition. No doubt it's something to do with our ancestry, where we did have to compete for food, for mates, for whatever it was. But yeah, we get caught up in it sometimes. Alright, so one of the things I've got to keep in mind with this piece, is the viewing angle. So remember, she is right at the top of this scene, right? So you're more likely going to see more of the underside of this boob than the top part. So just need to remember that, because the thing with non-metallic metal is it is always relevant where the viewer is in terms of what direction the highlights are in. Yeah, that's a fair observation, mate. You know, everyone mostly starts in the game side, but even pure painters are. As in, is this my third or fourth scene? It's my third scene. It's air, the third of the scenes. I have fire to go, which should be the easiest. I've got a clear picture in my mind of what it's going to look like. It's my favourite colours to paint. Yeah, it should be easy. This one I felt was going to be the hardest, and so far it has been the easiest. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, take it from me, right? I come from a competitive background. You know, I competed in world team championships and individual events, and then overseas in Monty and SMC, and all of those things have led me to the conclusion of it's actually okay. You don't need to succeed at those things to succeed at your life. And I'm sure I shared this story before, but you know, that year that my team was at the final table of the War Machine Team Championships, and we had three games that we lost on really close margins. Not close margins that we lost, that we should have won based on statistics. You know, we had a 97% chance to win one and an 89% chance to win the other one. Here's those moments where I look back and I see my mates, you know, in tears, finishing fourth, and the feeling of overwhelming sadness. And the thing that I took away from that was, nothing will ever feel as bad as this felt. ever again. So is there really anything I've got to be worried about? If I can get through that experience and still be here and still be passionate about what I do, I can get through anything. And ever since that, the losing games, competing and not doing well, there's no negative feelings at all. I just enjoy the experience, enjoy being there. It's okay. But it's a hard realization to come to. Yeah, I know. I'd be happy to be in the same conversation as Ted for anything. Alright, I've got a good pun for you. Why don't they spell the word dark with the letter C instead of the letter K? Because you can't see in the dark. But shh. Good one, right? Good one. I'll be here all week. Try the veal. It's really good. No, it's not that good. Oh, she's coming alive. I did not. Very good. Very good. Alright, I got one that I heard a couple of days ago that I just lost the plot at. I thought it was the best joke ever. It's a little risque. Do you know why they never released a pregnant Barbie doll? Because Ken came in a different box. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Yeah. 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 I like that joke. I like that joke quite a lot. Yeah. Yeah, that's a ripper. Alright. Making good headway. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. So we'll probably do some airbrushing on this when we get to that stage. G'day, Dennis Designs. Welcome to the stream, mate. I paint all sorts of different figures, mostly larger scale, 75mm or busts. But occasionally I also paint small figures, Games Workshop figures, or Marvel Crisis Protocol, whatever takes my fancy. And yeah. And hopefully I do a relatively good job, but I try to be helpful at the same time as I'm painting my figures. I did watch a YouTuber reaction the other day to two things. Well, that's what's. I think I said this a little couple of streams ago, or probably fucking 35 streams ago now. But I really like watching YouTubers react to things that I love, because it's one of those moments where you get to experience something that you love through the eyes of someone new, and get to see them get excited and enthusiastic about something that you're excited and enthusiastic about, which is great. I love it. But I watched a YouTuber react to two things. First one was the first episode of Firefly. And fuck, I love Firefly. It just reminded me how much I love that show. And I'm excited to follow along. But the other one was someone reacting to Batman vs Superman, the one with Wonder Woman and Doomsday and Ben Affleck. And fuck, that film copped a lot of flack unfairly. Unfairly, I say. It was actually pretty cracker of a film, I think. What is the difference between a fridge and a woman, Nurgle? No, I assert to you, Kung Fu Shrew, that you are wrong, and that in fact, Batman vs Superman is actually pretty good. Yeah, good one, mate. Very good. Enjoy that a lot. Wildly inappropriate. 10 out of 10. Very good. Honestly, I'll say something super controversial here. Ben Affleck's Batman is the best Batman. Yeah. Mate, he is good. He's very, very good. He copped the tail end of a whole lot of negative press because of the fact that the whole DC universe is trying to compete with Marvel in a time when Marvel movies were just hitting all the right notes, and DC Universe was trying to be much more moody, much more grim. Just different. Michael Keaton, he was fine, but come on now. Go back and watch the movie. It's bad. Look, I acknowledge that the film is not as good as potentially it could be. But after having watched the Snyder Cut of Justice League, it makes me wonder if maybe Batman vs Superman suffered from a little bit of the same issues, which is that a lot of the stuff got edited out, or it wasn't able to be the full version of what it wanted to be. But I still liked it. I still liked it a lot. Unfairly criticised. Let me ask you this. Do you think that objectively Ben Affleck is a good actor? Putting aside that film he did with, what's her name? Jiggly or whatever it was. J-Lo. If you think that Ben Affleck is objectively a good actor, then I don't think that the flaws with his Batman are his fault. I think he did more with what he was given than others. The Batman by whatever, the Robert Pattinson one, that was an incredibly well cast, incredibly well written film, right? And the same with all of the Christopher Nolan Batmans, right? They're awesome. They're awesome movies. And Christian Bale's great. But Ben Affleck did not get the same quality of script or the same moments, but I felt like his Batman was a more interesting one. Thank you, Bataphobe. Well done. Look, I think we can all agree George Clooney was the worst, though, right? What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. All right. Well, we can have different opinions. That's one of the wonderful things about life. Happy Easter, Jared. Yes, for those who are big Easter fans, hope you have a wonderful time with your family today and indeed this weekend. For those who aren't Easter fans, enjoy your break. That's what I'm doing. The Easter Bunny didn't bring me anything. Anything. What a clown. There is some chocolate in the fridge though. Alright, we've got to pick a piece Yeah, mate. There's a number of scenes in that film that are actually really awesome. The fucking Wonder Woman reveal was legit. Uh, Morning accent blitz. Yes. This air scene is coming along, Jared. It's actually quite annoying because, as I said last week, this is the one I'm least looking forward to doing because it's got the models that are the least interesting to me, and of course, as is so often the case, everything's just worked. It's all just worked together. We need to figure out what I'm going to paint for the Guild's Inn. We've got enough time for me to put together something for it. Got enough time, so 3 big dioramas. Well, we could enter these. We could enter these zodiacs. We could enter a couple other pieces that I've finished in the interim. The music inspired one, I haven't done the music inspired one yet. I'm going to try and knock the fire one out in the next week, and that'll leave me 2 weeks in April to try and figure out what I'm going to do with that one. The music inspired one is really tripping my head. I don't know how to do it. Mate, yeah, started with a purple base tone, and then I've just gone up through the usual Pazarski non-metallic metal from Chimera colours, but I'm about to deviate from that now. Or in a second I am. We're going to go into a different colour highlight, I think. Maybe some purple. Not sure yet. I think we're going to mix purple and yellow together. I don't think I showed off this guy finished yet in any of my socials, but he's really actually great on me. Enjoyed the model a lot. Yeah, what a fucking dickhead, eh? Just every time I'm like, I fucking hate this model, I don't want to paint it. I just crank out a banger for some reason. Yep. This one, yeah, I think this one's it's deceptive because there's a lot happening. It's a very busy model, and it's not been until I've actually sort of started painting it and broken down all of the various elements that I actually really like. A lot of the elements really cool. The scale mail is really great. The shape of the swords, well, technically they're kopeshes, are really cool. And yeah, the shape and the flow of the model's great. The robes are great. It's just super busy. That's all. There's just a lot happening. So my key is to simplify. I think simplify this piece into very basic sort of color palette. She's just going to be right at the top, so I don't think we need to go overboard with details on her. Alright, what colour do we want to use for the highlights? Bit of yellow and a bit of orchid light maybe. And a touch of this. Yeah, it's got some good figures. Like, there's been a number of Kickstarters recently for these sorts of big scenes and big collections of figures, and I've been pleased with all of them. Sometimes, and this is probably a unique observation. You don't always like every model in all of these, but when you put them together in a diorama and you're forcing yourself to paint them, sometimes you get models or you get experiences that you just weren't expecting. I mean, that dude from the big dwarf dude from the Chimera and Aradia Kickstarter from Hyperborea. That was my least favourite model, and I was like, I'm not looking forward to painting this at all. It's really bad. And I ended up painting it, and it came out awesome. So there's value in getting all of the models from a Kickstarter like this, even if you don't like all of them, because you may find that painting that one is actually something you really enjoy. I do indeed follow Lucas Zaba. I also have spoken to him in person, and he is a lovely, kind man. Yeah, he does some cool, crazy stuff like that. I didn't go on that one. That was a bit out there even for me. I also didn't go on Carl Rudick's crazy um, insect people. Who is a dickhead in the hobby? Let me think. I don't know too many people that aren't well liked, but there's definitely people who've had a reputation as not being very polite or kind. Pizarski. I didn't get great vibes from him. I sort of spoke to him very briefly, and I think he probably gets a lot of fanboys, and I think he would probably run out of patience pretty quickly for that. So he wasn't the nicest dude that I've met. He's just an artist. He's just a weird dude who's just sort of walking around, living life in fairyland. You know what artists are like. So he was fine. There was one Italian dude who really upset a lot of people a few years ago. Really pissed off a lot of people because he was basically preaching that fuck smoothness, the fuck smoothness movement was just a bullshit movement that supported painters that were crap. And he's like, I'm not gonna hashtag fuck smoothness because that just tells me you got no patience for this hobby and you're a fucking idiot and a bad painter. He didn't hold back. And that obviously put him in pretty quick opposition with Alfonso and the Spanish jumping to defend their Lord and Saviour Alfonso. But I don't really have anything bad to say about the Spanish. They're just passionate, and I think that would be the thing I would say about most people that I've met through this hobby. Most of us are in this hobby because we weren't very socially skilled when we were younger, and so in most cases, the people that you meet through the hobby that are not polite or not kind are just awkward. They just don't really know how to handle being worshipped by adoring masses. Alfonso, absolutely, he was trying to be confrontational and create some discussion. I mean, I think Alfonso is an artist, right? And artists are all about making you feel something. And Alfonso is an artist in the sense that he paints cool stuff, but he's also an artist in the sense that he just makes you feel stuff. He sometimes that's a passionate disagreement. Sometimes it's it's an amazed gasp. But at least he's out there being himself, which I am wholeheartedly in support of. So yeah, there's probably not anyone really that jumps to mind as being an out and out fucking cockhead, other than me. Most people dislike me. Yeah, fucking Colwell jumped into the top 20 of the dog. He leapfrogged me a few years ago. He leapfrogged me, however long ago it was, months ago. And he just said it. He didn't say anything. He just waited for me to notice. And I think I noticed it on stream, the dog. Yeah, my personality sucks, mate. So yeah, we need to figure out what I'm going to paint for the guilds in. We'll paint up something specifically for it. What do we want to make that though? Do we put together a bus that we really try and do some cool stuff on, or do we just persist with the approach of painting stuff that we're having fun with and drop something in there, like I did for Ark? Ark was a really fun experience. I had no stress. I had no pressure on myself to do anything. Yeah, but it could be fun to try and. 'Cause I haven't really pushed myself on a piece for a while. You know, I've just had a really nice time painting, exploring, learning new things. You never go full Deno. Ben Stiller told me that. Fucking Tropic Thunder. What a film. What a film. I've been painting this for an hour and a half. That is a long time for me. This is a very elaborate and detailed non-metallic metal. This one is going to be by far the most time-consuming piece on this one. Yeah. Long time for me on this sort of figure. You know, I did that Aquarius one in about 2 hours. Just easy. It is Cujo. It is indeed a lot of swords to paint, and welcome. Can you ask the colours? Yes. So I started with an airbrush base coat of signal blue and hexed lichen mixed together. I wanted a colder, more blue colour. And then I just went up through the normal morning sky and iron hue, which are the chimera ones. Hex lichens are just a purple. Look at my back. And then for my highlight colour, I've mixed these three. Not that one. These three colours together. I just wanted something more purplish. Now I have just the blue and the yellow. For our lights. It's very shadowed at the back. No, it's one of the best things about painting dioramas, mate. People don't turn the model around and look at the back. Maybe that's why I love painting dioramas so much. It's all about the grey, mate. It's all about the grey. The grey is what sells it and makes it look like a metal. Yeah, so what project? So if I am going to go full ham on a piece, what piece should we do? Yeah, iron hue is a grey colour. Or do we not? And do we go crazy and try and do the Cyberpunk City from Nico Galaxy? Oh, you already said that. Yeah. I like Cyberpunk Nico Galaxy, but I want to do a whole lot of electronics. What have I got in my shelf? Wizard of Oz. I've got the Oz diorama. I do like Wizard of Oz. I've got the 7 Dwarves from Spira. I've also got Baba Yaga. See ya, Nurgle. See ya, buddy. That is the one Jared did, yeah. Sure, I'd love some trivia. Was it? Did the librarian ask you to take it out? I love public holidays. Such a wonderful experience. Just getting to relax and dive right into your painting. It's so great. Alright, I'm going to do the tiniest airbrush. Filter. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I actually tried to apply for that at my work a few years ago. I used the old COVID. I was like, well, I can help save the company some money. If you want me, I can do 4 days a week. You'll still get the same quality of work out of me, but I'll work one less day so you can pay me less. And they thought about it, said no. I would have enjoyed it. Would have been good. Been good to have a little extra painting time up the sleeve. Yeah, dogs. Give us a go, you dogs. Alright. This is going to require a delicate touch, Deno. Do you have it in you? I haven't done a lot of precision airbrushing recently. Looks good. I definitely won't paint the back, mate. It sits at the top of the diorama. No one's going to look at the back. Back's for chumps. Alright. Let's move on to some other areas so we can see how the overall piece looks. What colour are we going to do the little shiny bits? I'm not really feeling another colour actually in terms of like copper or gold. I don't think that's going to work, so I have to try a different steel. Alright, well if we're doing a different steel, let's do it in a different way. Monofis, this figure is from Scale 75. They did a Kickstarter about 2 years ago for the Zodiac. You are welcome. It's quite a cool Kickstarter. Oh, do they? For Easter? Get in. It won't be as good as Jared's. I accept your challenge. And I will show you why Jared's was not as good as Jared can do. Jared is a much better painter than that. Balefire Forge. Welcome, champions. Welcome to the stream. Hello there, Trader Legions. Hello, Balefire Forge. How are you? We're just doing... yeah, I'm hungry too, actually. It's getting close to lunchtime for me. Well, it's a little early, but getting close. How was your stream? What were you working on? Ah, awesome. Love a little bit of dioramas. Feel free to post some photos in the chat or wherever. If I had mods, I'm sure they'd be willing to share all of your links and so forth, but I don't. It's just me, and I'm painting, so I'm sorry. But everyone should go follow him. Heresy for Heretics, mate. Sunday mornings stream tends to start between 7 and 8 whenever I feel like it. But you would not be aware of that because you are on daylight savings time, which recently ended. So your perspective is skewed. Well, Balefire, if you get some pictures, feel free to share them. I am big diorama fan over here, so love to see it. Nah, sleeping in. Thank you, mate. Sleeping in's for chumps. There's life to be lived. Figures to be painted. Walks to be walked. Games to be played. Alright, so this, we're going to do a cheeky bit of contrast paint on this. Contrast paint is so good for scale mail stuff. It's just so easy. So easy. And I think we're going to go out there and use this colour. Let's see. Let's see if this looks good. Good enough. Bit of skin. I feel it coming. I feel it coming. The overall scene for the air composition was one where I played around with verticality more so than the others, which, just between us, I'm really pleased about. I think it's a really clever move from the big fella to really reinforce the nature of the air signs, nature of air in general. I'm doing a lot of stuff on this piece, and it's taking me back to the first real big diorama that I did, which was the Temple of the Elements, which was actually just elements instead of zodiac signs. And I'm reusing a lot of the thoughts and methodologies I had with that piece. All very good, very good. It does elevate the piece. I enjoy that a lot. Well said, well said. No, it's a piece of cork. It's a piece of cork. I buy it from a railway store, Hobbyrama, up here in Brisbane. They sell cork. It's not cheap. Like, you get 2 big chunks of it. It's like $20, but it just looks really good for rocks. Like, really, really good. So I bought, I don't know, 2 or 3 packs a few years ago, and it's just sat in there, and every now and then I've pulled out a bit of the old cork and banged it on. It just looks perfect in certain scenes. Doesn't always look good. It is. It is big. That's what she said. Hello there, Mini Mancer. Welcome. Once we got through the big chunk of metal, everything else about this piece, this figure, started to come together a little bit easier. Well done, mate. Again, it all comes down to what your goal is, right? If your goal is painting something to the best of your ability, maybe trying to rush it in a week period's not going to achieve that. But if your goal is to paint something in a week or to just paint more, then well done. It's almost like I'm the Oracle from the Matrix. I told you what you needed to hear. How good. I baked some cookies as well. How good was the Matrix, eh? That was a banger. Absolute banger. Game of Thrones, oh, Game of Thrones, da 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 da. Well, I'm really enjoying painting this figure actually. Again, it was one where I looked at it and said, I don't think I'm going to enjoy painting that. And it's been a delight. It's been a pleasure and a privilege this whole time. The non-metallic metal's been fun. The skin's fun. And without a shadow of doubt, those robes are going to be fun. So easily the funnerest. Let's a little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Jessica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need, a little bit of Tina's what I see, a little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long. A little bit of Jessica, here I am. A little bit of you makes me your man. Mambo number 5. Crazy. I actually went very, 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 very deep in that rabbit hole way back early on when I was learning to paint. And the best thing I painted for quite a long time was a piece where I didn't use white or black. Now I would not paint without them, but it was a really good exercise in that era of my development as a painter to understand desaturation and saturation. So yes, I highly recommend people try painting without white or black, but it's a little on the tricky side. I might add a little bit more dark colour to that stuff. Alright, and the robes. I think we'll just go the robes in a very similar colour to that champion, which means we switch to this brush. Friends, I'm just going to nip off to the toilet for a second, grab a water. Shall return in a moment. Stand by. Did you just wish me luck in my journey to the toilet? I appreciate the sentiment, but I think I'll be okay. Very true, very true. Alright, so I'm going to move into another purple variation on this piece. This one will be a different purple. It will be blue violet from Vallejo. And so we'll have a whole variety of purple shades and tones across this piece. All different sorts. I probably need to add just a touch more blue into this one, I think, because we're sort of losing the blue. This chick's mostly purple, so we'll just need to think about that. But yeah, overall so far, enjoying the look. She's got the look of love. She's got the look. Yeah, we might actually go into this one. Cool. That'll be fun. $2. Andy, I can't let you go. Thank you, as always, for the subscription, Andrew. It is not necessary, mate, but it is appreciated. You know, I'm going to start paying you half of all takings very soon, since you participate in half of my streams. But you know, you subscribing to this stream is definitely one of the worst investments you could make, because you are literally giving Twitch half of the subscription, and then you are getting half of what I make back. So you are basically contributing money and getting a negative 75% return on investment. So you're not a strong money manager at this point, is my observation for you. Good one. What are you talking about? I have to pay him, mate. I have to pay him. It increases my cred significantly. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. Oh, oh. Thanks, Chloe. I'm glad you like it. I hope the Easter Bunny brought you lots of delicious chocolate or diabetes. We can make that joke with Jared because he does have diabetes. Exactly, mate. It's not like he can bring you more diabetes. Oh, I fucking love painting robes, man. It's so good. Fucking love it. Yeah. Buxo, you on for a paint later on today, mate? Got a lot of base to paint on this bad boy. Got a whole lot of base. Got a whole lot of base. We're gonna move this more towards blue. Just wanted to build up the purple tones underneath because that ties in with the colours that we have in the armour. Fuck, who did that song? It's called like Dark Blue. Dark Blue. Jack Shepherd or something? Thanks, Gary. We are getting there. In this silent world, say goodbye, whoa. 2 hours and 14 minutes, Timbo. And that is verifiable because it is literally filmed from the beginning. You spud. Uncertainty. What a dizzy dance. Sweetness will not be concerning me. No, the sweetness will not be concerning me. I've been thinking about how I'm going to utilise this musical challenge where I have to try and replicate a song on a figure. I've been thinking about it, and with this song that we've chosen, I feel like we're going to be very, very brushstrokey. More so than normal. But I tried to get into this with Bucks, or maybe I tried to start talking about it the other night, but every time I think about this challenge, all I see in my head is images of winter and of moments in winter. And so I don't feel like I'm feeling the music, I feel like I'm seeing what the music evokes. And so I feel like that's not the approach to this challenge that I need to follow. Well, is it? Is it though? This is my fundamental gripe with Andy's position and with the challenge as a whole. Music can inspire feeling, concur, but I don't think that can inspire a visual perspective. What it can do is it can evoke visual things in your memory, and that's what it does. But when I hear a song like Grandpa's Thump, in this particular instance, I'm using two Vallejo colours. That's those two. Yeah, Bucks. I never said I was a smart man, alright? My gripe with it is, am I just not cheating? Like, am I not just using what I see in my head to inspire the figure? And if that's what I'm doing, then it's not the music, it's the imagery that the music evokes. And that, I guess, is in essence my argument against your perspective. is that for me, music evokes images in my brain, memories, experiences, and it evokes feelings, absolutely. I don't think I've ever disputed that. Yeah, of course I'm having difficulty with it, duh. Well, I'm glad you think it's simple, you spud. Grandpa, just to give you some context, we had a discussion the other day on stream where we were talking about music inspiring art, and it was my assertion that music cannot be used to inspire creativity in a visual way. Like, it can obviously make you feel something, it can obviously help you be in a positive mindset and want to paint, but there is no way that music in its purest form can influence a colour, etc., or a decision. And we had a deep-hearted discussion about it where everyone thinks that I got absolutely smashed in the discussion except for me. And so I decided to challenge myself and anyone else who wanted to participate into painting a model trying to be inspired by the song and not be inspired by other things. But the song that I've chosen is a classical piece of music by Antonio Vivaldi called Winter, which is a really interesting song choice because it's very strikingly composed. It's a lot of like aggressive instrument playing. Yeah, could you imagine if I picked that song for inspiration and I was like, put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the train. Let's paint a model with blue suede shoes. Missing the point, Dano? Yes. I like big butts, I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. When a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. What a great song. My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun. You can do side bends or sit-ups, but please don't lose that butt. But Fonda ain't got a motor in the back of her Honda. My anaconda don't. My anaconda don't. G'day, Foxalotl. So this is the struggle that I have, right? Am I just being inspired by? Because Vivaldi actually wrote notes. He wrote notes about each of the little sections in the song, in the composition, about what he was inspired by, and they're super awesome. They're super awesome, right? He's like, this is like the sound of a snowstorm or whatever. I can't remember it, but and when you hear that, it evokes that imagery, especially when you know that that's what he was going for. But am I not just then hearing that music, conjuring a picture in my head of that, and calling that a day? I don't know. It bears investigating anyway. I'll try anything if I think it can make me paint better, or more good, or good at all, or paint. The filler that I use is PVA glue. Was there a new indie trailer? Bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-da bum ba-dum ba bum ba-dum bum ba. Was there? I'll have to go watch it. Don't tell me. Oh, I'm excited. Bum ba-dum ba bum ba-da bum ba-da bum ba-ba. Now I'll find it, mate. It's the internet. A little bit of everything all of the time. So I'm trying to evoke sort of a sky colour here, with some colours of blues and maybe like a twilight sky with some like purpley blues and salmon blues. Just want it to feel a little bit ethereal. This model is Gemini from the Scale 75 Zodiac Kickstarter, and it is actually part of a diorama that I'm working on. Here is another model from the diorama that I already finished yesterday, which is this champion, and we're going for a similar colour on the robes. Yeah, thanks Minimancer. So the color palettes for the scenes has been really inspired by obviously the elements. The water elements were done in a very cold color palette. Earth was done in a very warm color palette. And it's obviously fire is going to be warm. So I have been trying to tend more towards cold on this air one, and I do find painting cold highlights and cold colours significantly more challenging. But I feel like I'm improving at doing that. $90,000. How many did I say I'd fucking paint a model for you? Oh no. Oh no. Did I say 100,000? Fuck yeah now. You got that in writing, champion. There used to be a great tower alone on a sea, and you became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains. High enough to hear, but did you know when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on a grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, a stranger it seems, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light is in bloom on the grave. Da, 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 da. I don't know the words, mate. I just fucking sing bits that I know. I have not paid a lot of attention to Batman Forever or Batman and Robin in many, many years. But it would be interesting to go back and rewatch them. Because I went back and rewatched Willow a little while ago with Rocket, and she just thought it was the shittest movie ever. And the nostalgia in me was like, this is the best movie, you're so wrong. But actually, she was probably right, it's not great. I am running a wet palette, yes, Grandpa's Thump. My paint is thinnish, I guess. It's probably not as thin as you would expect. It's yeah. And okay. Gramps. Yep. It's not great. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Hey everybody, chill. Nostalgia is such a powerful drug, man. I mean, if you want to boil it down, the reason why everyone hates Star Wars now is because all of the Star Wars movies when they were younger, they look back on them with nostalgia. And then they watch the new ones. They'll never live up to that. Never. Never, never, never. Alright, let's try just a little airbrushing. Cujo, it is indeed, mate. Let me get you a picture. Well, here's the first part of it. Well, the first two parts of it. And here's this one. There you go. So this is this bit. I got a really good idea for the fire elements though too. Yep. Ready for sanding and painting today. It is star signs, yeah. No, the airbase looks like this. I had to do quite a bit of. There is 12, yeah. Quite a bit of filler on the back. So just so it's, yeah, looks nice. So I'm going to sand that off today. Nice bit of sanding. And then we're ready to go. So that's what I'm going to paint this afternoon. Let's paint this one. This is where she goes, the chick I'm painting right now, right at the top there. There is 12. I have fire left to go after I finish air, and I've got a really cool base idea that involves this. It's going to be good, but we'll get to that later on. Airbrushing, yes, good. Yeah, I knew this chick was going to take a while. It's been 3 hours almost. Love the cooge. Thanks, Jared. Little Chucky sprays. Can't go wrong, mate. Jock. Alright, and now we'll do the part that hopefully should make everything look good, which is the black lining. Hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of those paints in general. Based on Vincey V's latest video, mate, or just Golden Demon in general? Yeah. Yep, that sounds like a good topic for tomorrow night's Chinwag. I talked about that just a little bit earlier on the stream, just about. Vincey's conclusion was that he wanted to paint models just for fun. He was tired of it feeling like competing, because he was painting stuff that didn't spark joy. Maybe we should come up with our Marie Kondo. Who's the Marie Kondo of the miniature painting scene? The person that we can rally behind as paint for fun. Does this spark joy, painting this Games Workshop figure? No. No. Please, it's not me. I'm not famous enough. We need someone who's famous. you probably don't know this, mate, but Vince actually attended Crimson Brush and participated. Well, fuck you then. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Pretty good. That's an okay piece. Let's do a little bit of this gear. Indeed, indeed he did. He did a class at Jolt, I think, day before. Just trying to remember if that was the year that we had Marco and Alex there. Mate, I'll disrespect you every day till the cows come home. I don't recall anyone ever calling you that, actually, but self-appointed title, was it? There's a little chap by the name of Big Deno who might also be able to have a claim to that title. Oh, by the way, I figured out why I got confused the other night with Joe Skynet. It wasn't Joe Skynet, it was Dan Zeron. Danzeron. No, I remembered. Now, yeah. Now he is. He was shit back then. A lot of great feedback. G'day, Benny. You streaming today, Benny? Can I raid onto you, buddy? What a joker. Well, if you guys are on doing a little painting later on, I'll probably join you. I've got a big old air base that I've got to paint. Hell yeah. Alright. These two look like they belong in the same universe. That is great stuff, Deno. You've absolutely nailed that vibe. Well done, you. Third cab off the rank is this one, which is tomorrow night's Party Monday. I'm going to paint this beautiful figure. And I've got to figure out what the fuck to do about all of this doodads. Lots of fucking doodads. I swear I can't see half of the fucking mold lines until it's too late. Yeah, she is a really, really good model. Really good. It's going to be a real challenge actually for me because I'm in love with this model, but the palette that I'm going to have to go for, which ties in with these ones, is not the palette I would choose for that figure. I don't think. Anyway, so let me show you my fire plans, my plans with fire. So we got two figures. We got Leo, and we got Capricorn. No, not Capricorn, Aries. And then we've also got Sagittarius. I haven't assembled Sagittarius yet. That's the horse, but this is Sagittarius's base. So this is a thing I picked up many years ago. I've got some cool shit sitting over there. There's going to be a rock. It's going to be a part of the rock. So I think my plan is that, because this needs to connect to Earth. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a mountain on this side with this thing on top. So this is the base from from Sagittarius, and then I'm going to have like a rocky mountain side down here. Leo is going to be standing here at the front of the rocky mountain side. Yeah, for sure. And then this one, which is Aries, is going to be jumping from up here. And then Sagittarius is going to be up the top here. So that's my plan. I've got to build it. And make sure it works, but I think it's going to look really cool. So, and then I want to do lava. I want to do some lava. It's fire. Obviously, you need to have lava. But maybe like subtle lava. I like a lot of lava. I don't know. Alright, I'm tipping off, friends. Have a wonderful day. Let's find someone we can raid. But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel? We'll go raid Skelly B. It's the only person who's on at the moment. Yes, we'll be back for Party Monday. Bucks and I will be back chatting away. Should be good fun. Yeah, that's a question for the next one. Yeah. Thanks, Gary.
Remember,
see you, friends.
Said up and then down, up and then down, up and then down. No down then up, only up.